Hello everybody, my name is Valerian and Clarice. I hope that you and your loved ones are staying good and safe. As we have seen in class, early childhood plays a very important role in our lives because during this period is when the brain absorbs information way quicker as we do as an adults. As you guys could see, I have a very thick accent, and that's because my first language is not English. So that's why I decided to do like a little bit of research about how bilingualism works in early childhood. True bilingualism is actually called equilingualism, which means that somebody speaks two languages fluently. However, this is very rare because usually somebody that speaks multiple languages, they choose to speak a dominant language or they think in a dominant language. So it's not really like equitative. I said it right? Early bilingualism is very important in children because this way they will have a better process in their brain. They will have a better understanding about how the switching and changes in languages, in different languages, are going to work and how they're going to apply it in the daily basics. So when a kid is learning more than two languages just two at the same time, they have something called code switching, which means that the kid is gonna be constantly mixing things from one language into the other, and this could be phonetics, it could be how a sentence kind of makes sense or sentence in structure. They're gonna mix all this kind of stuff. So a perfect example could be the water is caliente, which means the water is hot. I chose caliente because many people know caliente. So yeah, so this is very common actually as an adult. People that speak more than one language usually do to use this code switching. And for example, in the case in Spanish, when you are mixing Spanish and English, it's called Spanglish. Bilingualism is actually something very common all around the world. So we can see that kids from Canada are learning how to speak two languages at the same time, which is English and French. And also we go all the way to Spain, we could see that kids are learning how to speak Spanish and Catalan at the same time. And also in the Andes, we see kids speaking Quechua, which is the indigenous language, and also Spanish. And I feel that this is something very beautiful. However, and sadly, there are also some countries that have negative attitudes to these kids or to these people that is speaking a language that is not commonly spoken in the country. And one of those countries is this one, United States. So usually when these kids are learning some other language, or maybe if they speak a different language than English in their houses, these negative attitudes can make them to just speak English, and sometimes they even forget how to speak their second language, or in some cases their main language. Traditionally in United States, kids that were speaking a different language than English at home were seen as less competent by many educators. And even today, there are many professionals that think that the brain is made to just have a monolingual language, and that bilingualism actually is gonna make delays in people's language. And there's no proof about that, okay? So people that make these conclusions may think this because kids that are bilinguals are having a knowledge of fewer words compared with their peers that are monolinguals. But if you put this into perspective, what they're doing is that they're expanding their brain to get a better knowledge between two or maybe three or maybe more languages at the same time. So are they really knowing fewer words? I don't know about that. Actually, studies shown that bilingual kids compared with monolinguals are more creative, they have a better understanding on solving problems, they also are super fast catching good and bad alerts. And all these things happens because when they're learning a language, I was talking about this language switching before. So that language switching, they learn how to do it fast enough in their brain, so they apply the same system when they are solving problems. Studies have also shown that bilingual kids have a higher density of gray matter. Gray matter contains most of the brain's neuronal cells, and gray matter is located in different regions of the brain that are in charge of different things that happen in our body, such as communication, speech, emotions, listening, self-control, solving problems. So now knowing what gray matter is, it makes a lot of sense that bilingual kids have a higher density of gray matter. So if we think about all of this, it's like having being bilingual, or having a bilingual kid, or bilingualism in general is such a beautiful thing. It has a lot of beneficial things in kids' brain, in your brain, and as an adult, it's gonna definitely open a lot of doors for you. As an adult, it's not gonna be as easy as kids to learn a new language, but I'm gonna give you a clear example of myself. I learned English when I was 17, and I learned it in 6 months because I was in like intensive classes that I was taking, but it helped me a lot. Like, my perspective, it just have opened so many doors for me. And imagine how it will be for a kid that been learning different language since they're very young, because that way they won't have like a lot of errors as I probably had during this video. And they definitely are not gonna have accent, which is kind of the main problems that learning a language in a like older age is gonna have. So that's a good thing to think about it. So that's pretty much it. I highly encourage you children to go bilingual. It will definitely open your eyes about the world. You will perceive things way different. Kids will perceive things way different too. They will understand a lot of other things. One of the examples that I could give is that sometimes there are phrases in different language that if you translate them, they mean something, but there are also like a cultural meaning behind that, and you would understand that just if you know the language pretty well. Having a second language will definitely open doors and give you more opportunities of work and jobs. Also, it will give you better knowledge about other things. If you're reading a book, if you're reading, I don't know, an article or something, you will have more opportunity by just reading in another language. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna put a video at the end of this video about that I saw like a couple years ago, and I feel that it's fascinating. And there are many cases all around the world like this one, but this is the one that I found on YouTube. So I hope that you guys enjoy. Thank you for watching. I hope you watch all the video. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you. Say bye.
My name is Bella.
Wow, Bella, you're very beautiful today. Are you looking for something?
Yes,
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for my present.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I'll tell you what. If you pass a little test, we can help you find your present, okay?
Okay.
So over here, we're going to have a question for you. Can you read the question and then
What?
answer?
Dinosaur has 2 rows of bony plates that run along its back and tail.
Okay, so which dinosaur is it?
Stegosaurus.
That's correct. Wonderful job, Bella. Whoa!
好的，如果你想要礼物的话，你要回答我3个问题，好吗？
是的，
第一个，我们用什么来看东西？
我们用眼睛来看东西。
很棒。第二个问题，我们用什么来听？
我们用耳朵来听。
太棒了。最后一个问题，我们用什么来呼吸？
我们用肺来呼吸。
太棒了！全对。
Te voy a ayudar, solo si tú me cantas una canción. ¿Te sabes alguna canción?
Sí.
Cántala entonces.
Mariposita está en la cocina haciendo chocolate para la madrina. Poti, poti, pata de palo, ojo de vidrio y nariz de guacama. Cho, 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 cho.
Spielst du mit mir? Ich sehe
Ja.
etwas, was du nicht siehst. Und das sieht grün aus.
Die Buchstabe O.
Richtig. Sehr gut, Bella. Das war sehr gut. Machst du mir einen Knicksen?
Alors ici, il va y avoir un texte qui va s'afficher. Et tu vas devoir le lire. Ça va?
Petit oiseau d'or et d'argent, ta mère t'appelle au bout du champ. Pour y manger du lait caillé que les souris ont barboté. Pendant 1 heure de temps, va-t'en!
Très bien.
حسنا، السؤال الأول: على أي كوكب أنت تعيشين؟
أنا أعيش على كوكب الأرض.
السؤال الثاني: قولي لي ماذا يوجد في منتصف في مركز المجموعة الشمسية؟
الشمس.
ممتاز، أنت ذكية جدا. تريدين أن تعرفي مكان الهدية؟ أها، حسنا، هيا أعطني يدك والآن سوف نبحث عن الهدية.
Посмотрим, что там.
Вау!
Ух ты, какая красота! На самом деле, чтобы вы понимали, этот хвост не случайность. Это была мечта Беллы.
Вопрос один. Как?
Мы занимаемся языками с рождения. Начали только с 2 языков, с русского и английского. Но поскольку увидели интерес у ребенка, то мы постепенно добавляли все новые языки и постепенно вот так пришли к 7 языкам.